Alright, we're getting going here, but I gotta relaunch Power Toys apparently, so my snapping in my custom zones is not quite working as intended. What's new? Who knows? Does Fancy Zones work again now? Fancy Zones. Okay, thanks. Where's my profiles? Launch layout editor. Custom. Hey, Fixus. Imagine Windows just working. Yeah, without Windows, it needs Windows' own tools to behave itself in a manner, you know? Because I use Fancy Zone because I'm only actually recording a small portion of my screen. Because I'm using it ultra wide. And I'm still streaming 16:9, so. But today, before lunch, I should have got lunch before I started, but we're a little bit early. We're going to be finishing some of the details on the ship. Kind of getting the ship in its final, I won't say final form, but, you know, passing through doors is not very helpful, you know? We're going to get things working in the systems project, and then we're going to move them into the main project. Hey, Dakota. Okay, so the frame will match everything on the ship itself, obviously, and the airlock system is not responsible for, like, you know, for the graphics of that, but I want to get the door animation itself working, which I think is on. Yeah, there we go. Alright, since we have two independent animation systems, one on the physical door itself, and then one on the inner airlock. And then these I'm going to give it the other animation. And then we're going to actually make some buttons. So the idea is there's two animation players responsible for the airlock system. The airlock system is going to be a really simple state machine type thing where we have an open outside and open inside, and there cannot be a state at which both cannot be open. They could both be closed, or one could be open. And they pretty much kind of work in that way. But this panel is what I want to actually do. And originally this was going to be a 2D panel. And then I decided we weren't going to do that. We're actually going to make like physical buttons, and I'll still put some labels on them, but they will be like a real pushable thing for the state of the ship. So in Blender, we're going to kind of take that panel off. Have I had it open before? No, not a bit. And I do actually want to have it not rotated. I'm going to locate towards Z minus, aka front. 4 is fine. Data pads, yeah, so instead of a data pad, let's remove this back. Because that does not need to exist. Let's set up the asset to auto smooth on 85, just to make sure there's no sharp edges. Hey, Mongolo. I'm gonna just go tell this is gonna ship for pad. And then I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this, how I want this to look like. I was using some SC references. It's like totally... how big was the data chip? I wish Open Recent had a search function. That would be amazing if it did. I'm going to split up this chip components project. Or not the chip components, it's not the right one. The one that I had. No, not it. The interactable one. Components.blend. It'd be nice to start breaking this up into smaller blend files. Because this was never that organized in the first place. Yeah, I don't even think this exists anywhere else other than in ship components. Like, why is that there? Like, I get why. Let's put those under data. I guess models, database stuff. Or electrical. Let's say computer. Put them under the computer category. Computers. This be our deck. And that seems fine to me. I think this metal. Oh yeah, no, this is good. I mean, the scale is still correct. Hmm. Where did I say that to? Check. Unforgiven space, assets, models. Mark as an asset. Let's do the materials real quick. Oh yeah, no sir. Wine color. This will be like, yeah, today is just going to be Blender assets, I'm pretty sure. Metallic. Connector PCB should be a bit lighter, I think. Data back. More computers. And this way I'll export this. And if I decide to rename it, we'll just rename it all afterwards. I really came here to get this one, which is the chip. Where is that? Where's those nodes? Where are we grabbing those nodes from? There's a label. But the actual connector. It's coming in from where? Ship components HU card. So we need to move this up. So let's take HU curve. Let's create a chip folder. Rename it chip. Not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna copy that node tree though. That color ramp is great. Jitters, chip. Yeah, let's like separate the label. I'm a little change it, but I think on the texture side of the label, I want them to be kind of beveled. So I think instead of just giving it a material slot, I'll just give it a separate mesh for it. And that'll be replaced with the decal in the engine, but just for organization. Decal. Auto merge, not to watch out for like spaces and doubles. Yeah, I keep just doing that. Like I just kind of every so often, just A and by distance, kind of intrinsically. I'll just leave this one here. That said, I don't really have that distance set very high. It looked like when you collapse the verts to the other object verts. Chipmunk. Modifiers. This is fine. Don't do this. What is this up here? The mirror. Oh, is the bevel doing it? Okay, maybe not. Either way, this is fine. This is marked as an asset. All right. Let's get you into the game. Or did I not? Okay, that's going to be a decal. Color. Hey, there we go. That looks better. Yeah, let's link you. So in interactables, this is the stuff I want to actually break up. Because I want to actually make some tangible buttons for opening and closing the door, but I'm not quite sure what I want to go with yet. So these are pretty high poly. Necessarily. For a button that could just be some normals. All right, let's grab one of those chips real quick. Yeah, because it's too 5 big anyway. Thanks for the follow. Who be the Code Grind. Welcome, Code Grind. How's it going? .2. Yeah, 0.002. Could you tell me a little bit about your project? Sure. Let's go into the other project to showcase the project. So it's a space trucking game or a space adventure game, kind of like a first-person Cowboy Bebop type, experience. And it takes a lot of inspiration from Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. Focuses on more on the gameplay side of things. So this is the game. All right, so here's your kind of like the first starting medium class ship. All the components are physicalized. Let me get smaller, sorry. Yeah, so you just have your your space truck. Everything in the ship is fully upgradable, so you can swap out things like the shield generators, power plants, coolers, all the modules in the ship can be swapped out. So when you kind of get the first version of this, it has more cargo, but that kind of gets changed as you upgrade, and you're kind of going from place to place, buying and selling cargo, loading it up onto the ship, and selling it. And right, so you have a combination of cargo transport, mining gameplay, so like asteroid mining. And with that comes micro management gameplay, like salvage and refueling, and you can kind of outfit your ship to do a bunch of different things is the idea. Right, so right? You can customize your own little habitation module, which will be like in the truck stops. This is probably like not the best scene, but for that, but that's kind of how it plays out. And if you have any like, you know, specific questions, like, you know, that kind of like, very cool, very cool. Similar to game on dreaming of starting to focus on your spaceship with interiors. Yeah, exactly. So it all plays out in first person. It's multiplayer, right? So all the components are physicalized. So like, for example, I can grab like a chair here. Everything is, you know, all cool Newtonian. Right, components actually like go onto the ship. So if I like, you know, grab my little power plant here, I have a little example node that I can connect to. But you know, yeah, you literally just, you know, push and pull everything. So I think, I don't, oh yeah, that's right. So like here's a warp drive. I think the warp drive needs to be a bit bigger, but and I'm kind of clipping through, but you know, you throw the warp drive into effect. Excuse me. Right, and then like you have full 0G in space. And yeah, the world is kind of like, you know, assets are streamed in as we get close. You know, we have full warp. So as I get up the speed here, I can turn on the warp drive. You know, fly across, you know, pretty much the station to wherever. As you can see here, we're able to fly by here with warp enabled. But this is the game, right? So I have like a rock crusher that I'm working on. How long have you been at it? A year and a half in Unity, and then I switched over to Godot, and it's been 6 months in Godot. But everything switched over. And what I'm working on now is like details for like when you wake up in, like when you die, you wake up in the hospital. So just kind of like final arting a lot of the stuff that I need for the summer. By the end of the summer, I want to like have a fully working vertical slice. So I fund the game on Patreon. I'll actually show you we'll run into the other main build here. It's called Unforgiven Systems. It's where I do my actual development. So that way I can have all like a really light, like a 200 meg version. Like here, in this project, like I only have the gray box version of systems that I need, right? So I only have, you know, just the UI, just the pilot seat, and it's all gray box, right? Everything that makes the game can be then done in isolation. Makes it really easy to kind of like test and scale. I'll just show you. Yeah, like so. Here is an example. I'm gonna go ahead and let's just say server. I'm just gonna host the client here. I'm gonna assume I don't have half this stuff. Oh yeah, right. Doesn't like render ray tracing. Oh yeah. Close out half the stuff I'm working on here. Somewhere I have a server running where maybe I broke something. 1 second. Okay, so I'm the server right now. Let's move this over out of the way so I can demonstrate. All right, and then we're going to be code grind. And it's going to pick a random color. Code grind is going to be green. And so here we have code grind and the server, and all the animations are fully synced up. All of the IK systems and projectiles are fully synced up. You know, all the NPCs, we have 100 NPCs being replicated and simulated here in multiplayer, but we're going to take code grind, and we're going to bring code grind over here, and we're going to spawn in code grind ship. Go back to the server. And I'm going to just kind of demonstrate. So I'm going to leave the server right here. And actually first we're going to bring the server over. And just watch CodeGrind do his thing. So CodeGrind's going to come in, jump up, and interact. And see the seat interactions are all synchronized. Player's now in the seat. And he's now controlling the ship. And you can actually see that the right, all the gimbals and the weapon systems are all networked. So now we're gonna take off here and wait for CodeGrind. So here's CodeGrind. So we're just here in 0G. We can get out of the ship. We can fly around. We can do whatever we want here. We can enter the gravity volume, leave the gravity volume. So just demonstrate, you know, we're in gravity, but you don't have to be in gravity. I can go over and kind of jump in with them, but let's spawn in my ship. Oh no. Yeah, it's fine. It's a good example. Yeah, just go and interact with my seat here. Yeah, so now we have both of us, you know, fully working. And we find, oh, there's CodeGrind ship over there. Right, so yeah, so here we are. I'm seeing CodeGrind seeing me. We're all good, and we can just kind of get up to speed here. If you just watch me in the distance, I can kind of just go ahead and warp, and I'm gone. And I'm going to go and warp after him, and boop. And now we'll just increase water, switch from Unity to Godot, using a network infrastructure. Or did you do that as well? This is all being done by me on top of Godot's multiplayer. I didn't like the limitations. Unity is 32-bit on physics, so the NVIDIA physics library that Unity uses is limited. The world itself is 32-bit, so you go 15, 30 kilometers away from origin in Unity and everything will die, you know? The only reason why it's slow here is because I'm alt-tabbing between the clients and they sleep. I can go 50 million meters away from origin with my custom 64-bit version of Godot, and you know, everything was fine. I mean, and here we are, you know, at, you know, 30,000. Like I'm at my maximum camera calling distance from the planets right now, you know, and it's still. But I want more control. I need to build a guarantee that I can scale the game to the scope that I want it to be. I'm working part-time. I'm working full-time for the summer, and part-time during the year. But my goal is to go full-time. You know, we do have, like, the game is funded on Patreon, and I do continuously just kind of like do builds. Whee! Warp speed too much. Thanks for all the explanations. Yeah, no worries. It's all good. Right, so there's not a lot of road blockers left now for what I need to create as far as like getting things playable and working, which is nice. Right, so now it's mostly working on like gameplay, mechanics, and slowly getting all the different stuff networked. But I want to start like really like kind of hyper focusing on the you know, different aspects of the gameplay. So getting like the law system up, being able to shut down and turn on comrays, you know, boot up and. What is that sound? That is. Hey, thanks for the gifted sub. So this is Unforgiven space, and you know, like as I kind of move forward with things, you know, like there's a lot to explain. Really, there's a lot of kind of done with things, but as I get it all put together, you know, it'll all kind of make sense. But that's what I'm trying to get all the door animations and everything kind of working today on the main ship. At least on like a gray box form. I want to make some physicalized buttons that kind of, you know, like work. But yeah, that's the that's the game, and the game right now is just to shill it a bit. Is funded by Patreon, patreon.com/monolithic, and the idea is at $5. Right at the $5 tier, you gain access to the builds. Right now we're at 100. We were at a little bit more before when we were on Unity. Switching engines, maybe like a year into development, not the most you know, best decision communally, but ultimately is you know, better overall. And anyway, so yeah, so the idea, $5, you get access to the builds. I'm continuously doing builds, you know, every week or two. And at $10, you get your own little kind of room that you can customize on the main station, or on the initial Patreon station. And that's pretty much the shilling. And yeah, that's the goal, is to kind of get the project up to a point that I can go permanently part-time, so I'm not kind of like, you know, working like 60 hours a week between both my jobs and this. But yeah, I tell everything's playable. It's kind of, yeah, it's hard to get the support up because people need to see proof, you know. Yeah, because I think I will put my labels. Maybe, yeah. Let's do hard normals on these. I'm gonna leave them still kind of squarish, but yeah, that'll look good. Not so bubbly. I noticed the roughness being like 70 consult, so like 30 to 40% indie, and the energy and process can really hit the wall sometimes. Yeah, I noticed the roughness of being 60 to 70 consultate. What's that? Have you considered getting help from the community, like contributing 3D props? We have the Discord, but like there's been people that have helped, you know, in the past contribute some things to the project. Let me get my chat arena open here. There we go. But even I've noticed that roughness being like 60 to 70% consolate and 30 to 40% indie. The energy and process can really hit a wall sometimes. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Like from work, you mean? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's yeah. Yeah, I need to, like, you know what I mean? And I do enjoy my job, and it's just not enough to, you know. If I'm gonna be poor, I might as well be indie dev poor. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, what have we left up for now? Oh, thanks, Blender. Are we doing Blender? No, because I'm scrolling the animation timeline because I'm not. I'm modeling? Why is it scrolling? Something looks like something's being held down. Okay, a little bit later. Yeah, so these buttons. Do you texture the 3D models, or is it only vertex colors? It's a lot of only vertex colors right now, but they all will be textured in Substance at a later date. I don't have time to final art anything. So I do what I can, you know? But eventually, we'll be at that point, which will be really nice. That'll be a wonderful place to be, you know? Currently digging deep into hard surface modeling myself. Nice. The issue is, like, it takes up a lot too much time. Why is it not? Why is my escape not working? I hate this keyboard. I can't wait to replace this keyboard, man. I'm using, like, Black Widow V3 Chroma, or the V3 65, and it's a lovely keyboard. But ever since using Synapse Beta, like, it every now and then, like when I do a full reset, it'll change my profile, and it'll totally mess with my ability. Like apparently hitting caps escape turns down my volume for some reason. Like, what? Like, why would caps escape? Like, it's like, what are you even doing? And I have all of my yeah, like, default. I have all my bindings on it set up specifically for yeah, it's like it literally won't escape now. And none of the modifiers are working. None of my function keys. Love it. But hard service is fun. I'm just gonna say maybe it could be Blender. I don't know. Let me see. No, it is. What the hell? Why does Blender make? Yeah, killed, escape. Right? Profile changing. What? I open it back up and it's like I still can't escape out of this text prompt. I don't understand why you do this to me. Blender. It's like because I'm still editing the text, but like it won't let me cancel the editing of the text. Hates me. Can I like just change to a different scene and reset it that way? Okay, hello Blender. That seems fine. From my DPI sensitivity is terrible. Back to my WoW profile. Thank you. What is wrong with this? Why did I delete this text? Look, it's like, even though I'm literally editing. Is that a Blender bug, I wonder? I'm literally like able to select and edit other things, but this text won't go away. Ew, and it's like jittering. Look at that. It's being weird. What's that? Hey, do you want to create with me Doom 3 using Doom 2016 engine? No? Recreate? Why would you recreate something that's already been created with an engine that it was already created with? And I know, like, here, I've never seen this. Previous selection, next character. Wow, it's so weird. Blender. How's it going, by the way? Looks that it won't close. Did I find a bug? I don't know. Let's delete the close text. Oh yeah, now it's fine. Weird. What is it you're trying to do, Mysterio? Though, you want to create Doom 3 using Doom 2016 engine. What is Doom 2016 engine? Is that even a ID tech? Isn't it? No. Is that even available? AKA the Rage engine? What is that? The two PC gamers. Doom Eternal's new official mod support includes the very same tools used to create the game. Interesting. What is it even scripted in? id Studio. Available on Steam as a beta, which platform will design? Imagine having such a good job and lots of free time that you can just sit and remake an old game for fun. What? I know. That'd be the dream. I don't know what I would get out of it. Like, what would... I don't know why you would ever remake something that already exists. When you want to create something new, or like some new rendition of it, of some sorts, you know? It's cool that this exists, though. This is awesome. I'm gonna grab that SDK for my own curiosity at a later date. An error has occurred. You do not have a license. What? Add to library. Wait. Oh, you must own Doom Eternal. What do I don't own Doom Eternal? We're leaving Godot for IDT. Yeah, rewriting the whole space physics engine and everything. Yeah, just in ID Tech. Yeah. Oh god, no, that's not what's happening. I'm curious to actually play around with their tools to see how they present things. That'd be kind of cool. I'm like afraid to edit this now. It won't let me confirm it. Why? Like it won't let me confirm the text. Look, it's just doing new line, and there's no hotkey combination. That's allowing. It's hilarious. Only now I realize I got a gifted sub. Yeah, that was earlier. By Code Grind. Well, they gifted a random tier 1 sub, but I don't know who got it, or at least my bot didn't tell me who got it. But in all seriousness, why the hell is this? Like when I copy the text, why does it do this? It's weird. If I go create a new one, let's say I go create a new text. And I edit it. Close. It won't let me cancel it. Why? There's gotta be a way out. Alright, delete. No, delete. I'm not trying to delete text. Right, set selection is click. Click is set selection. Preview. Right click for text. Can I confirm the text without... That is so bizarre that Blender's doing that. I wonder if no, I don't have Unforgiven one installed anymore. You just joined Twitch yourself? Everything's new to me. Well, I like Twitch. You know, I like multi-streaming. I think multi-streaming is now the pretty much the true key. This is wild to me. Like why this is doing this. That's my thought process. Am I in a certain mode? But I'm not in a certain mode. That's the weird thing. Like, it still keeps typing anything I put into it. In layout mode, right, I can enter the text buffer, but escape doesn't work in the text buffer. And I'm like, right, I can, it worked for the first time I did it. So like, why this button? And it's not my font selection either doing it. Like, I can't, if I go to escape all the way, it still doesn't escape it at all. Like a winner, no, not like a keybind. It's only in Blender. I know you guys have Blender. How did you rail 20 minutes? Why my key not work? Exactly. But like, seriously, if you guys have Blender, go in and create a text, type something, and hit escape. Mine doesn't work. And like, even if I do like my alt modifier, it just registers as a keystroke, but doesn't do shit. I'm gonna blame Razer on it. Right? It does not escape. So how do I confirm the text? It's tab. What? Okay, okay. I was this year's old when. Makes sense. Kinda. I thought that, but it's just tab. It's tab to edit and tab to confirm the edit. And I just never realized. Let's move it up and move it back down. Yeah. That's so meh. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I think they should all technically be capitalized. I don't know. How does that font look all capitalized? Not bad. Yeah, that does make sense. What a net. Yeah. Anyway, the idea for this, just explaining to you guys, like the idea that I want to do is have the have an unlock button down here, and it'll just kind of glow. Like the on part of it will kind of like, and the unlock will kind of go into two different states, showing if the ship's locked or not. So when it's locked, it'll just glow an orange of just lock, and when it's unlocked, you know, it'll just have a like a yellow, like a full unlock kind of state. And you use the chip to kind of like lock it and unlock it, which will like introduce hacking gameplay in the future. So you'd have like a a version of a chip that has like a connector on the end of it that you would just stick in there to kind of like fake a chip. And I think that'd be cool. But I think it's upgrade 200 right now. Yeah, long as the dimensions work, that's all I'm kind of, button size, all kind of makes sense, and that I can animate them in the editor, make them like selectable regions. Because I want to give them like kind of glow to kind of like know like where it is, and bake some lighting to it. But I want them to be like kind of pressable. Yeah, and I was debating making one of them like a like instead of glowing the light of it, so you can see it from afar, like glowing the button itself. But either way, I did have a chip already there. Why have you copied there? Yeah, that makes sense. But you should not be in that collection. You should be in labels, because labels is not going to be imported. Terminal mesh. I will keep this one. Yeah, actually we'll keep that shades muted, but we're going to sharpen the inside. So it kind of looks like, yeah. That's fine. Do. You're loving the details? Yeah. Come along. Yeah, so that'll be the view you want. But we could not glow the button. Zero point 0.05. Get the ship fleshed out with detail, buttons, cars, screens, cables. What is the name of that font? It's one I use for the whole game. It's got a license for it. It's called Contracts. Yeah, and I'm gonna go and add something here called an indicator light. I don't know if you want to go down this road, but I need something that I can see from afar. Other than the font, you know, I can always like glow the font. But I'll leave it and just take a look. Can you write that down? Didn't quite. It's Tracks semi-bold. It's probably my favorite sci-fi font. Let me drive emission out through the roof. Yeah, because when we get into the game, we'll play with this a bit more. I like the and do like 95 angled. Just a cheat. And give it a bit of bubbliness. Okay, ship door pad. Yeah, and these are going to be the same for everything, no matter what it's opening or closing. If something that has an open and close, we'll use the same thing. I'm sure I'm going to change it. But I want to kind of get something that kind of indicates. And we'll kind of get them set up in Godot. Chip, the close, the open, the unlock. This will just be a button mesh. This is going to take the same data block. This will be the button mesh as well. We'll need to add one. Button indicator mesh. This will be button mesh. And we'll bring this into systems, and we'll get it all actually like wired up to work, and we'll see how things go. Whether we make the fonts in the engine so that they're not crazy topology, but you can warp now in Quantum, by the way, Mr. Fusion. In multiplayer, we can now warp. And oh, dude, do you have time? Like, do you have time to do a build? I want to show you some of the new stuff on the multiplayer. If you have a chance to download the latest systems link, and I'll actually kind of jump in with you and just show you the stuff that is working. Model ships. We'll put it under ship components. Oh, shipboard bad. As long as my mesh names are never going to be changed. Nope. The animations will still be fine. And I have the origins defined correctly. Which I do. Mm-hmm. Oh, I do actually like the strip on the side. It's got to be something that is going to be at least a pixel big at a distance, so that the screen space bloom can, you know, pop still with it. They're like, oh, where's the door? How do I get in? Because we can, I'll still glow the font. We can still have it so it's like a transparent, like thing, but Rebands, ship components, just be ship door pad, and then we'll add our animation layer onto the root. We'll do a button on each one of these, but we won't. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so let's do this one first. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I wonder whether or not. Yeah, I'm gonna change something real quick. I'm gonna make the origin of the hierarchy. So instead of these being kind of Z, kind of on a weird angle, we are going to take all of these. And move them to be 0. They're not there. Oh, because which one of these has the weird offset? View. Yeah, let's do something to help ourselves. Let's create a new empty. Round type of empty, an empty, plane axis. For buttons. And let's take these. I have a method for my madness here. Just bear with me. Anyway, and the reason why I'm doing that is I want to have a parent node relative buttons that'll be a mesh, or that'll be a reference in Godot as an empty, so that all their animations and whatever will be like relative to 0 on the z-axis when it gets converted. So I can play around with this later on when I have to mess up the animations, because the animations will just push back, the same. Because we're only going to animate on just the z-axis for them. Mm-hmm. I also need to start like unifying all my materials. Do 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 do. Alright, so because I'm animating them based on their buttons path, it'll be a little bit easier. I don't have to worry about my buttons getting messed up, because this will always be in the model. Alright, so because I want to go take each one, so starting with the open. And I want this position to only be like different on the Y. So how far up it is. Okay. I'm gonna move it in a bit. Okay. So this one's marked. And these are only going to be just responsive, so they're only going to do a trigger once, so they're going to reset back to their normal position. So let's maybe do 0.2 instead. Length, and we'll just bring it back. So we'll bounce it. So we'll take this one, copy it. Punch it. And probably change it to 0.4. Yeah, I like that. And we'll do that for each of the types. So for flows, we'll do the same thing. I edit an animation track. It'd be nice if I can manually copy stuff, like if I know it's going to be like literally the same. Yeah, let's do that manually. Okay, so transform position, create a rest position, 0.4. Go to the very end, punch it again. Go to the middle, move it in where we want it to go. And now for this, let's fusion. Same. Watch for few streams. Oh yeah. He must have sent me that before he popped into channel fusion. No, bigger font, and then we'll kind of scale it. Maybe. Now, unlock I'm going to leave alone because I want it to be both the and the lock. Today I learned that Windows Calculator is open source. Oh yeah, a lot of the new Windows stuff are slowly becoming open source, which is great. Yeah, because we can't assume that we're on the landing gear, that we're gonna be climbing up. Let's see what that looks like. Where is it? Yeah, I think we're down. I think we're fog. We're a bit too low on the collider. Also, like, completely on the wrong side. Well, we will replace what's there and go into what is there and turn it off. Yeah, but maybe this needs to be bigger. Like maybe the whole thing needs to be a little bit bigger. Hmm. Ship airlock. Ship door there. And this needs to be interactable. So, what array casting, right? We'll change this to sky body 3D. Go to collision shape. So if it's a selectable body, on our input. What? Enter the door trigger. Interactable item. Is I attractable and I interactable? Right, if the target is interactable. Oh, but the target can only be... If the target is... So is the target... Can we target static bodies? Oh no, I set it up. Yeah, so we're doing it on fire. Do. So this is not going to... I'm gonna do some I don't really want static bodies to be targetable, but I kind of want them specifically for I'm just gonna do check if the yeah, we are the raycast. So if this colliding, I'll manually grab the collider again and cast it to the interactable. And see if this interact on the pad fires. And it doesn't need a player witness. It's a standard anyway. Oh, it's getting warm, chat. It's getting warm again. Hey, there it is. Well, getting it when I click. Shift or pad, I'm not going to interact. Because the interact method is not implemented. Why is it firing the one in the player? We're not sending that in, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that's a null too. Use that. Player. Right, interacting from player. I mean, its job is literally just to send that forward to the airlock system. So we're gonna do exploit. Yeah, so we could actually create a couple of different static bodies that are interactable that could do the different ones. So we'll on interact, we're going to fire this to whoever we're going to fire it. So it's not responsible for doing anything other than just forwarding the interact to wherever we want it to be. And in future, we'll separate them. Open event handler and on close event handler. Right now I just want one because door is either going to be open from the outside or open from the inside. Player doesn't really, we don't need to, you know, we'll still animate the buttons depending on state, but like, doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see, private animation player. We're going to manually do an open, just so we trigger the event. I'm going to make that symbol anyway. Just so we get the interaction. And we're just going to make that assumption on that. And we're going to set that animation player if it is not defined. Oh. Let's see how that looks like. The goal right now is just to get it working. That looks okay. Ooh, so that's all I want to, yeah, we just want to grab this interaction event handler. So this way, on the ship, all I want to do is tie in the ship pad, single, this interact. We're just going to literally connect this interact in the same node structure to the airlock. And we're just going to run open outside. Right, so now we are connected by singles. So this way the airlock, you know, we can have the artist create many different types of panels, and you know, I mean, like, however you want to wire it. At least that the door panel can be used for anything, not just an airlock. You know, it doesn't need to reference an airlock. It could be used for opening up the gates or opening up the rear ramp or vice versa. Anything with an open, close, and a lock. So now this ship airlock should play the animation of opening outside. Which we'll test. Yeah, so with that working, we'll see if we get the, I want to get the interaction, a door open. Then from the inside, we'll still need, and like another panel of sorts for opening the inside. Nice. And ideally we'll have an animation tree just so we can't, like, literally play the animation. And so we can time out the door. But this works. Yeah, so on our airlock, we have entered from the outside, and we need a way of cycling it. It looks good, says Matt. Exactly, that's all. It just needs to look good for the time being. It just needs a function. I just want to kind of get to... I don't really want for the vertical slice, like clipping into things and stuff like that, so yeah. Right, for this, for the airlock itself, we'll do like a cycle. Yeah, exactly. So what we want to do, when on the airlock side of things, right? So because we are the airlock, when we ran open outside and we just ran the animation, we're immediately going to assume that is exterior over there is open outside. That'll be true. Hey, TV Neverland. Happy modeling. How's it going? So we're gonna use an area, right, to do the work, I think, for the airlock itself. So like, because once we're in this area that I create, like you have to be at that point in the airlock. So once we know the player is in the airlock, it doesn't make sense to create another input. I like the idea that we can magically say there's a pressure plate or something. Like that area would represent like a pressure plate on the floor. And we've pressed the button, we got in, but we want it to finish cycling. We don't really want to, if we want to like have as least amount of input as possible. So on the inside we'll have the same button set as the outside, but the intermediary, I don't think we're going to need to have a cycle button. Because if you're going to be using an airlock, it's going to be either or, so it doesn't make sense. Right? Like just from, like open this door and then go in and press another thing and then press another thing, Like if they accidentally got into the airlock at this point, we're sorry, but, it's too late for them at that point, They already done messed up. And we'll give it a little bit of yeah, because it's just going to be a trigger that we just kind of guarantee. I'm in the process of moving countries at the moment, but I'm planning to learn some Godot when I get set up and everything worked out. So I thought I would get some coding streams. Oh hell yeah, it's awesome. I'm eventually on YouTube side of things. I want to start doing YouTube videos. I started doing a demo project for Netcode. It's like my little multiplayer test project. And you know, the issue is that YouTube videos take a lot of time, but with the least amount of code, like right now, there's only 5 scripts needed, like for this demo here, and this you know, was set up to kind of run both headless or non-headless or. And it's all like, you know, C#, so we can like host a game and you know, join with the but I want to kind of, you know, just start doing some guides that how to sync things. They're hard to find on the C# side. And there's a lot of weird nuances that I've learned over the years of working on the game. You know what I mean? That kind of like, you know, is more than just, you know, like, you know, sticking on a multiplayer spawner and throwing on a couple of, you know, multiplayer synchronizer values. Is that chat working in this one? No, I don't. But that's what I want to do. I want to do like a YouTube tutorial series that would kind of start taking some of the assets that I'm working on, like the placeholder ones, and end up in a spot where you have a full body FPS rig, you know, in multiplayer. Because I think that'd be cool, and you know, it'd be kind of a, you know, something players could use, you know. And we don't want them to be they had to like definitely go past the threshold, so this kind of make this thing a little bit small. Let's do 0606. I spent a time learning Unity. I spent a lot of time learning Unity. I wouldn't say I'm top programmer, but just intermediary, but I'm thinking of switching to GDScript when I try Godot. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I find a lot of the stuff is one-to-one, like as far as my C# experience. Like if you've been using C# for a ton of time, you know, then it's, you know, the same, you know, for like I had to port, I don't know, like 600 scripts Unity prior to Godot, and it still wasn't that big. All the same stuff, still the same. But yeah, like there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, giving GDScript a try and seeing how it goes, right? Especially if you're doing development every day and you want to take a break. Right, but if you're like, I don't know, like if you want to eventually break out of game development and do something different in programming, you know, then you could also try C#. I used to have a bunch of scripts till I have a hard drive die on me. You know, it's not one-to-one, but it's still very, you know, similar. Yes, if the player even gets kind of stuck. Yeah, I think that'll work. So we're gonna just give this. We need our. Area 3D. C# is cool. I like it. I'm a fan. Come on, area 3D, boop. So on body entered. all we're gonna do is check if the body is an iPlayer. A lot of you have been working on this game. I've been working on Unforgiven Space for a year and a half, maybe a bit longer now, maybe like a year and, you know, 7 or 8 months. So if whoever entering is going to player, we don't care about, like, you know, but we're not going to do anything with the players. Actually, we don't really need a reference. We just need to know, hey, a player is entered. Then we're going to do a cycle. And then the hope is that that only triggers once, which it should. And in the cycle, we're just going to check to see what state the airlock is in, and if it's, you know, right. So if we're open outside at the time, we're gonna go one way, and if we're open inside, we'll go the other way. But I want to add a few more checks and balances to that, but not right now. It is open inside. Insided, can't English. So yeah, so if we're open outside, we need to close the outside. And I'm just going to manually trigger it for the time being. So we're just going to just kind of cycle through both our animation sets and give them a run. Yeah, probably a good idea. That's the thing, just getting stuff working is like good enough. As long as you don't create too much mess along the way and you go back and clean it up. And if we're open on the inside, and we're going to play this one backwards, close it, and we're going to play the other one forwards. They're all called open because they're an open animation that you play in reverse whenever you want to close it, because that makes more sense. And don't create too many animations. You know, go from the default state to whatever the animated state is, and then just use it in reverse when you need it. And now we just need to make sure in the gray box that the airlock does indeed have a reference. To the outside animator, which it does. And this, see, we can kind of get in. Yeah, working is good, and once you get the basics sorted out, then you want nothing weird. Yeah, because the biggest thing is players had to play it. That's the most important thing, I think. You can sit there as a developer forever and make something and perfect it, but like until a player opens the door, doesn't matter. Okay, so until this gets pushed live, you know, and someone goes and like interacts with a door, and a door opens, and then they like get into the airlock, and I don't know if the inside animation, so let's see if we're getting the trigger. We're not. Oh, we're not getting an error either, hang on. In her area, we have an area 3 to find. I've been learning some modeling as well. Nice. Yeah, Blender is awesome. It's crazy now what we can do. Imagine not needing Maya, you know? I don't know if we're actually getting a trigger in general. Same body enters, so it should be triggering. Assuming the area is not null, which it should be. Because it is our area 3D, and this is all fine. Yeah, Blender's good. I never used Maya, but I'm questioning the cost. Oh yeah, but I'm guessing it costs a lot to use, yeah. Good old Autodesk. Yeah, I wonder if in general this is being triggered. I'm checking the body of the player in the running cycle, but like, do we actually know if the player entered it? Because maybe the animation, I gotta check the animations and make sure the animations are actually set. Hey, it is open. Oh, wait, why is it? Okay, the inside one is open. Uh, yeah, the player did enter the office. The cycle is actually running. And it is open outside, which should have been set by the interaction. So when we opened outside, we played the animation for opening outside. So we know that worked because we jumped in the ship in the first place. And then when we did cycle, we're going to do cycling from outside. So the inside one should play open, and the outside one should carry backwards. Hey, Randprint, how's it going? But let's just make sure this is actually working. It goes. Then for the inside one, we're playing backwards open. Let's make sure. Yeah, let me just actually make sure that the airlock is actually open. So we have an open, and this would be for the inside. Yeah, that looks fine to me. All right, I gotta go. If I see you streamed again, though, we'll come watch. Have fun. Have a good one, Mad. Yeah, so this should be triggering on the airlock notes. For the inside. You need a light too, like over in the airlock. It's very annoying. It doesn't seem to be running that regardless of what we're doing. Yeah, when other player has entered the airlock, but the cycle is not. Because the body isn't a player, but it should be. One thing I did, one thing I think Bethesda did right in their case hierarchies in their game is convenient, and the way everything inherits 90% of what it needs. One thing I think Bethesda did right is the is their class hierarchies. Did they ever do you mean like, what do you mean by like class hierarchies? Like code structure wise? Or just like classes, you know, in literal sense? Dude, I'm not even getting it here. I wonder if the collisions on that area or even no, because this still happens. We don't actually get that warning though, so the cycle should be running. The way they code their engine. Oh, is there any like documentation about that? I don't think I've ever seen a GDC or anything on how like I guess modders would know. Yeah, so it is trying to do a cycle, but doesn't seem to. We're also falling through the damn floor. I don't know why the floor. Well, the airlock has a. Mhm. I'm just gonna add a box shape real quick and resize it. Because this should be held up by the floor of the ship itself, but I mean, 0.025. Okay, vision for the player, the area. We know is working. There's scripting, and I guess database, ESP, ESM, for lack of a better terms, mirror it. Oh, okay, gotcha. Ooh. This is what happens when you put a static body and you don't set the collision layer correctly. So that should be chips. I interact with the door. Yeah, because it's not closing the exterior door either, and we're still filing through, so. Mm-hmm. Blah. Let's leave it too. It's so weird. There's negative lights. It's so weird. It's so weird. Really, like, I don't mind the animation tree setting because we don't have an animation tree set up yet. But the second I enter this, and we're trying to, yeah, player enter the ship area, we're cycling the airlock, and we should be cycling the airlock from the inside. It should open. But this is not happening. Open inside. Mm-hmm. No, it's open. We're open. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, problem is me. then we just want a timer that'll kind of like close the airlock regardless. And which we're just going to make private. There will be a new timer. I do the same. I'm going to set the timer. Be on airlock timeout. And on airlock, we're going to do both. Just close inside and close outside. And whenever we enter the airlock, we'll well, it depends. Timer one charge. And whenever we enter the area to do a cycle, we'll actually start the timer. Or that will be even better to guarantee that we're not in the airlock when the timer triggers, because we do it on body exit. And whenever we exit the airlock, if we're a player, then we'll actually start that timer. As a one shot, so we just start it, and it'll do its thing. We could do an async thing as well, and then. Yeah, because then we're only ever starting that thing when we leave. So we'll close the door. So the outside is opening, the inside's going to play the open animation, and then who's open outside, who's open inside. Through, and we're going to return, so we're not going to worry about it. And then otherwise, we're going to go the other way around. If we're open on the inside, then the outside's going to be clear, inside's going to be. And then we're almost there. And then we need a thing on the inside that will allow us to, I can still pass through it, but, so I can do this and it'll open and close. And then we can just kind of play walk through the ship, which I actually like. You know what I mean? Like if the airlock, and obviously just has to be a delay that guarantees one is closed before the other opens, but just having them kind of react. What we will do to guarantee that state is we'll still switch the the values of the game, so you can't actually, you know what I mean? Like you can't choke yourself, but we'll also we'll do callbacks on the animations and make sure the animations have continued. So visually, you know what I mean. But we still need a, you know. But this will look a lot nicer for the, you know. And because we're checking for iPlayer, it works with networking as well. Because an iPlayer interface is inherited by both the player network, the network version of the player, and the single player version of the player. It's the generic cross-player. Yeah, so that animation state on the front, though, I don't know why it resets it. But, yeah, so I want to make sure that you don't ever get stuck in the airlock. Yeah. So we need to now do, you know, if everything is exactly the same, the great thing about this is we go into our transport ship. Player transport ship gray box. And we can take another one of these, put it on the inside, and reverse the connections, right? So what open does to the airlock for, you know, the outside is obviously going to be different than what the open does on the inside, but it'll be the same. If I become God Emperor, non-interruptible animations will be in an offense punished by torture. Non-inter. So in interior, we're gonna grab another ship door pad. And this is what I like about, this is why I like level design. I think this is kind of cool, right? We can do ship door pad. Take, you know, we're an artist, so we just take another pad and put it in the airlock, so it takes on that airlock transform, and then move it back out, so it's kind of already here-ish. Right? And we're just gonna move it up. We know we're opening this way, so we want it to be on this side. And we also don't want it to interfere with the components that are going to be in the component rack. So there is like perfect for it. And now we're going to for the door pad, the animation. Wait, what is that animation player? Oh, because we're getting it on start. As an export value. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so yeah, so all we have to do is go to our, so this is going to be ship door pad inside. And we're just going to change the singles. So we are going to single our on interaction. We're going to connect it to. I wish it by default showed like, you know, like the hierarchy of. Anyway, we're going to to our airlock. And we're going to do open inside. So that's all we should have to do as a level designer is tie the things up, you know? They should know nothing about the system. It's just like, oh, I have a generic pad. These are my parameters at which I can hook it up to something else. And I'm hooking it up to something else. And then that's all they should have to do. And now, like, hopefully we have that full process of, you know, spawning in a ship, heading up to our airlock, opening it up, and what's great is we're going to use the same thing on the ramp because we're just going to hook up that same single to the ramp. You know what I mean? So we can then open and close the ramp and lock the ramp, and then boom. You know what I mean? Like we just have we're using the same meshes, so that's why we use a physical interaction instead for the back of the ship. Because why not? We already made the panel. Then we don't need a UI thing happening. You know, it's a physicalized button, which I think is kind of cooler. You know, for interacting with. And then it's a whole panel that we can destroy, and then it works. So in interior, where's ramp? Because I did make a custom UI for the ship panel here, which is hooked up to the ship transport ramp. Are you making it so other people could make new ships easily? Other ships can configure ships easily, but there's still right now a graphical, artistic shell of sorts. And I want to be able to use, you know how like character creators have blend shapes for your face and stuff like that? I do want to make it so everything in the ship, which is, you know, a 3x3, you know, or 4x4 wide area, is fully modular, but then like there's different kind of like frames, different like chassis, you know, some that are like all these different designs. Players can customize. Yeah, we're gonna nuke the ship panel. Goodbye, ship panel. And I'm gonna bring in another door pad into here, and I'm gonna call this one ship ramp pad. We're gonna rename it because, you know, we can. And we're gonna turn it and just bring it in. Boop. And as long as it's reachable, where's the other one on the side of the ship? Go there. So actually, given that we're going to be going to the right side of the ship anyway, it doesn't really make sense. We have the ramp there, so let's change it. Kind of move it up until it's on like this little piece of vertices and move it in. I was trying to imagine if I was thinking about making your work easier, like for mod support. That's what I thought was. I want to make it so it's super easy to prototype a ship. There's a lot of tools I want to build in the engine for, like, I have space edit, which is going to be like a in space, you know, snap all the you know, like prefabs together. And now we're just gonna, same thing. We're just going to single, right now interact, because I'm not gonna break this down into sub things, like, it's just gonna be like closed or open, you know, right now. You're only gonna be calling the ramp to be open outside, you know? If you're on the, if when you want to close it, you know, when you get in and you interact with the ship, it's gonna automatically close. Or if you're on the inside, you can, you know, close it. But we're just gonna try to keep it simple, we'll reconnect the individual singles after. I could also make interact be a toggle between close open, so it does last action. But just trying to get rid of all this old UI stuff and really try to. Yeah, so we'll hook up the this to the ramp, and we'll pick open ramp, connect it. And now this should be a lot better, and that's my goal for today, is to kind of just make this process, you know, a bit cleaner, because I want to really show off the build tomorrow, or like later on, not like on the next Patreon build that I do. I want to do a build of the main Unforgiven space, and actually have all these things work. That would be kind of nice, though. Just be able to open up things more physically. Like, this was much easier on the player. I'm not getting. There we go. All right. Oh, because we didn't know what we were. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, this works. I need to stop it from raycasting through things. And I'm not worried about collisions yet either. I just kind of want the state to work well, stable. Put one back here for the ramp on the inside. I think I want it on the on the mount here. Although we might hit it, so maybe not. That's probably not smart. And then we're just going to take this one, make it unique, and alright, now we should have the full cycle of all the things we can open and close. And this makes, you know, things a little bit easier. We can give it a go. Ramp collisions, I think, are still bad on the ramp. We still got to kind of really tame the rigid body. But to say, yeah, because I think I think on the main build I do have a lot of that fixed. So now I can interact with this stuff, and it feels good. You know, it's tangible. Little button presses. Yeah, I think here we're selecting the ship. Yeah, and we're clearing. And the ramp will just run. It'll just do open and reverse, which is kind of bad, but we don't have state, so totally fine. Both of them to open the ramp for the time being. Okay, it works. What's our uptime looking like? But yeah, I think that'll be cool. It'll do the job. Three hours and 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break. I think I'm gonna go raid someone. And we'll come back after. Where we'll be cleaning this up in the other project and doing a bit more art refactoring. In a long ways. Have you seen the, I don't know when you were last in, right? But this part of it. Just a lot of stuff now that was working. The ship weapons are now working. Warp is now working. You find a nav point. Ship combat and indications are working. Oh wow. Yeah, cool. No, it's like we're now like fully multiplayer, like, you know, able to move around and quantum space truck. But let me close out the test build and run back to the main for a second. Yeah, so this is like graphically kind of where things are. Can you buy pizza though? Oh no, it is a prop. But I don't have like a status system with the animations to. Right, but here we are. Let me like customize a HAB for you real quick. Let's go here and buy a sofa. And take that sofa and go into our own little HAB. And you know, let's put it maybe yeah, put it over here. Bit dark. And alright, so these are like some of the things. So we'll do 2 bar stools, the island, the light, big sofa. And so let's take our little. So you can customize everything. How it works. Yeah, is that the main feature we need, Rand? We got to get pizza in. Like, pizza's got to be in like pronto. Yeah, let's take the big couch in. You don't even think it's that NPCs, dude. NPCs can kick your ass. Yeah, let me show you. So I'm now like final arting everything, you know. I'm kind of like putting together a fully working vertical slice where we can play together. Right, so you know, you're being able to customize everything, but this is what it's like now. Now, you know, all the components are working. They're all physicalized. We can pop out things. I'm working on all these animations today because the ship is pretty much like not done, but you know, like fully functional, just graphically wise, and you know, it's all nice and pretty. I think there's a target here. Yeah. Woo! You know. So yeah, being able to buy pizza. I think it's a jelly and be quite happy with that. But yeah, multiplayer's work coming along great. Like the multiplayer aspect of things, and I'm pretty. This is the like the space scene that we're working on. Oh no, actually no, the load errors are fine. So look at this thing. Right, so this is a. Hi, can I have my mouse back? Okay, thanks. What is it? Oh, the grid panel. Yes, I'm like breaking things, but right here's let me turn off the this mouse. Right, but we have you know, Irish John's Bar. You are going to be able to play pool this summer. My goal is to get summer working, but there's Sicilian's Pizza. Right now it's just missions, so way too much brightness. I'm trying to work on getting the clinic working. Yeah, development's messy. Yeah, messy, but you know, working. You know, like it's, you can bring your ship in and customize it. You know, pull up all the components. You know, do the thing. But let me show you the bounty mission system. Hey, thanks for the follow, Ready. So, like, I'll show you like the different combat systems of what NPCs can do, right? So, it's NPCs. Let me call it security testing. Yep. So check this out. So here I am, right? We have all the NPCs. I'm in systems build, so obviously I don't have my full graphics, right? So these are regular NPCs. So at each station, there's a medical module. So the medical module here is a node, which has these child, you know, healing tanks. So I mean, I'm in a healing tank right now. So obviously they're going to be graphical, right? It's going to be a real module in the station that, you know, we're going to be actually using. But now if I go back over to the bounty board, yeah, and let's go do let's see, let's do have Olive. There we go. So I just accepted a bounty. So there's Olive. Olive gets spawned in and fully simulated by the station manager. But these are advanced NPCs. So when I aggro Olive, here, like boom, like we're in full combat, right? But I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna dodge as best as I can. But Olive just got me, so I just got messed up. So now I'm gonna spawn in the nearest healing tank, right? And so if you look, like I have credits, so I have 2 million credits right now at my disposal, and we just took on that bounty mission. So let's go and find wherever all went real quick. Kill that advanced NPC that's over there. That one's scary, you can't kill that one. So this time, you know, revenge is mine. And it doesn't mean much, but, you know, we just made 2,700 credits. Right? So we can spawn unlimited NPCs, right? And the server will manage them, and we can do missions, and so we can, you know, pretty much these NPCs, you know, have like a cone and a radius for like being detected. They're obviously going to be, oh yeah, but this is where it gets great. So there's nothing the ship combat. I'll show you the ship combat. So ships can fully combat ship scene. Oh yeah, ship NPC combat. So we have a pirate NPC. He's fully set up with his shields, his own weapon systems. I spawn into the game. This time, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a ship. Now what's going to happen? Because I'm registering, right, in that pirate ship sensors, he's now going to engage. He is fully dynamic flight model, fully gimbaled weapon systems. So he's now going to completely screw up the ship, or try to, but he's going to get stuck in the gravity because he doesn't know how to deal with gravity. He doesn't have engines, so he can't do much. He's a bit of a whale. But if we go ahead and take off here, and kind of bait him out. Yeah, they will. And what's cool is that's how the whole medical gameplay kind of works, is you can actually get NPCs, you can go rescue them. Oh, he's actually, he went and changed his departure approach. He's no longer aiming at me. I'm going to kill the shields. The shields are fully working as well, not graphically, just systemically. Like, it's taking the shield angle and actually doing the correct penetration. I have really slow projectiles right now, so like, right. And then when the ship dies, it becomes salvage. So those are the 32 individual salvage pieces that you, the player, would have to go and, like, you know, salvage and kind of, like, you know, do your thing. But so because the ship dies and the NPC gets killed, because the NPC is still referenced to the ship, you know, we can I can spawn a bounty mission, and it could either be on station or on planet. It doesn't matter. You know, like, and it all works. Right, so it's so funny that I totally forgot that there was the warp shader is not supposed to have shadows, but it does have shadows. I need to fix that. It's supposed to be unshaded, so it's kind of funny when I get up to speed and kind of warp by. So in warp, you keep going faster and faster and faster, you know, for, you know, eternity pretty much. You're no longer a physics body, you know. The universe is kind of warping around you. But other people can actually pull you out of warp, because warp will be controllable. Warp is going to be like a super cruise, and I have a whole system for piracy that's going to be so fun when I get it online. It's going to be great. But let me show you, Rand, the multiplayer. What works in multiplayer. So we have a dedicated server going to be running. But I'm going to create a server character for this particular demo, so we'll do server and just kind of host. And here we are with 100 simulated NPCs. I'm going to go over here and join as Revere. So I'll be Rand. I'll be Rand, and we'll give Rand this gold color, and we'll join in with Rand. And we're going to move Godot out of the way here. I'm going to show you kind of like the stuff that's actually working in multiplayer. Just going to keep this down a little bit. Yeah, so check it out. So here I am the server. Rand is Rand. You see all of Rand's animations are fully synchronized. Rand is experiencing the same 100 NPCs that Revere is. And although my frame rate on my stream is bad, it isn't bad here. So the Rand has IK, right? Projectiles, bullets, right? Everything is now like totally fine. So Rand is going to come over here and spawn in the ship. I'm going to go as the server. I'm just going to observe this. I'm going to run over here and look at the ship systems. And here's Rand. Rand is coming over. There's Rand. He's going to jump in. I can see Rand interacting with the seat. I can see all the animations. Let me put my gun away here. and check it out. Right, if I come over here and take a look at the side of the ship, all of Rand's, like ship systems are synchronized. Right, everything is working. I'm gonna take off real quick, and I'm gonna wait for the server. So here I am, and yeah, so there's Rand over there. We have a comm array we can go shut down. So let's go do that together. Let's go grab. I'll grab my ship, and we're gonna do some EVA fun. It just works to you. So here's some things we can do. Let me go over here and join Rand. Right, so right there, everything's working. I'm gonna head towards the side of the red planet here. I'll get myself lined up because I just want to show you that if we go to the same place in time here, I'm gonna start heading over there, and I'm gonna hit my warp drive, and you can actually see him go, and I'm gonna go and follow him. We are both in warp, and ignore the frame rate, because I don't have whatever session I have focused is the one that's running at like full frame rate right now. But we're in a universe together, Rand, right now, and we can fully play it. You know what I mean? Like we can go buy cargo, we can sell cargo. We have 80 million meters of space that we can that kind of play with, and yeah, that's the. So I'm just gonna head over to that comm array. Apparently I didn't really go that far, so yeah, it just works. Yeah, Todd would never lie. I'll kill the quantum drive here. I'm not quite sure. There we go. I'm gonna leave that one spinning, and I'm gonna head over to the. Of course, it's when you come from everywhere to nothing, it needs to actually decelerate, and it doesn't. But yeah, so let's just go over to this comm array. The comm array is currently on. Alright, so let's pretend I was a bad guy, and I'm just sitting here at my ship. And we're in 0G. Ignore the ship gravity is turned off right now, but I've just left. And let's say I was, going in here to do my thing, as a bad guy. I was going to go shut it down. Then I can just go and see that Rand's ship is there. And I wonder who's in there. And we get all the nice volumetric global illumination happening. I can't wait for this to be in its kind of more final form, but yeah, that's let me just flip out here. But yeah, like the game will soon be playable, and what's great is I don't care about 100 chips or anything like that. I just care about gameplay. So my approach, and what I'll soon be doing, is continuing to push, these builds, and players will be able to quickly look at said gameplay, you know what I mean, and be like, oh, this is fun, this is not fun, this is stupid. And I'll be able to curate things faster because I'm just pushing builds like continuously. So I just think that's going to, before having to have like crazy graphics or anything, I can iron out fun things, right? And have ships flying around and NPCs flying around, and just start building up reputation system and bringing in all the skills. So yeah, that's the idea. Mining is going to get a bit of TLC after summer, probably. I have all the tech for mining, but I need to build up systems for it. But yeah, so that's multiplayer in the game. But Rena says, yeah, that's a decent, that's decent animation. Seems like, yeah, seems it's good enough. Game doesn't need to be perfect. I'm getting a lot of cache errors here, but that will be resolved with the way that I've refactored everything. So anyway, I'm gonna go get ready and we're gonna raid someone, and I'll be back after I have lunch. I'm gonna go get food. Today's a full day of working on the game, so I wanted to get that working first. Let's go to Wallower. Let me throw the Discord in there and the Patreon before we go. Okay. Wallower. Let me end it here.